Back at it again. More tournament content. Round 3. Playing a gentleman named Mike. Another Mike, because I played a Mike in round 1. But see if you can spot the difference between these guys. I had somebody else in the back of the room warn me when this guy came through. And he said something like, "Oh, you're playing Mike? Oh, don't let the white hair fool you." And I was like, "Listen, man, I never do. I'm barely paying attention to who's on the other side of the table." This is an interesting one though, man. This guy, he and I chatted a little bit after the match and got along great. I can see that, you know, maybe he's not everybody's cup of tea necessarily, but I thought he was awesome. Very old school player, you know, clearly like played with the best for a while. Still loves to play all the time. So we were chatting about playing again at some point. I want a good straight pool sparring partner, you know, in one pocket. So I want to try to like diversify a little bit. But yeah, let me get myself out of the way here a little. I go after this. Oh, pretty close. Probably, I think in this case I was just too preoccupied with the speed of landing on the 2. And the 1 ball got away from me a little bit. But Mike, to me, feels like one of those kind of classic characters that you run into in a pool hall. And I think just based on how he came to the table, he wasn't fully settled. Maybe had a tough couple matches. And he explained to me after the fact that, you know, whatever, if he's like talking at the table or making comments or like does something that might seem unsportsmanlike, that it's not about the opponent, it's about like how he's feeling about his game and his decisions and his play. And there's a particular moment that two, I guess, that I'll point out during the commentary here that stood out to me. And I wouldn't call it sharking necessarily, but it's a choice. You'll see. Stay tuned to the end. Watch the whole YouTube video. I try not to do that to you guys. I like let you make your decision about what you want to watch. He's gonna like try to masse around. That's tough. I kind of like the kick. If he's got enough room behind the 5, kick into him that way. Because then maybe there's a chance you kick this side of the 2 ball and send it back out. Block me. Yeah, he's in a bad spot. I guess you could swerve around. Maybe something good happens. I don't see a 1 rail kick here. Maybe he can get 3 rails at it. Or 4? I don't know. Side note, the camera angles are not always great here because it was my first time filming, first of all, and it's a lot of, I guess you can't see it pictured here on the screen right now, but it's a lot of those sort of high sort of wall tables that are, you know, meant for like a drink, and they have a little cutout for the cue. They're not conducive to putting up a full tripod, so I have to use my monopod, and it's up against the wall and I can't really see the screen, and so I'll figure it out, you know, I'll get my system dialed in. As usual with these combos, just control that first ball. The 2 ball's in a good position here. I should be able to just kind of spin out. Cue ball kicks out this way, and I want to get out and around. Straight on the 3's fine. If I get a little bit of an angle, I should be able to come across. This is table 1, and so the bar and tournament director sit up here at the entrance of the place, just past the head of the table. So it feels like the feature table, you know. And a lot of people sit around watching. And I remember coming into it feeling like, you know, heck yeah, I want to put on a little show here, which can, as we know, not go well for me. I give him a tap because clearly I'm like not giving him a look at the ball. That one was interesting. It's just slightly overcut it, right? I think I missed it to the short rail side. Probably just too preoccupied with the back and forth for the 4-ball. So Mike's got a kick at it. He might be able to get around the 6 and under it. If there's a kick and stick available, that'd be good. Otherwise, could you come off the 3 and try to get the cue ball under the 8? The stretch. He had room to cut at it. So yeah, it looked like he tried the cut. And this was the first time in the match where something like that would happen, and Mike would go to sit down, and he would say, loudly enough for everybody to hear, "Well, that should be it," like that. I was like, okay, maybe you're right, dude. Pick my line on the 6. Could you get nicer on the 4? Certainly. Is it indicated? Yeah, probably. I probably should have hit that better. Are you still okay from here? Sure. This is fine. You can hold the cue ball or you can come across. Notice my form's a little shorter. Bobbled that one in. But I'm learning a little more about, like, just maybe a touch of outside. You can sort of help the pocket to accept the ball a little bit. Probably do it here too, out and across. Rolling into the 7's a good choice here because it sends it across table and you're gonna end up with a good option for a safe. Or in this case, you lay up the 7 with a perfect angle to get on the 8. So it's a good play. Just float across, get straight on the 8. Good tempo. And I remember at this point kind of thinking to myself, like, yeah, Mike, that was it. That was all she wrote. Oh boy. I'm gonna try to mess it up there. But I don't mess it up, guys, because I'm gonna make this one. Take that. Whoa, wacky break. Get sort of like a goofy kiss into the corner. So I get that first game away, and then Mike immediately gets back with a good opportunity here. He really just needs to get from the 3 to the 4 is kind of the problem. Sorry about the exposure, by the way. I have a way to do the focus, like to prevent the autofocus from kicking up on the phone, but for some reason it doesn't have an exposure lock. This is touchy. He's starting from the back side of the 2. Yeah, he's just got to go full into it and really slow roll it. Here's the tough one. Do you just stun up into the 9, or do you go out and around the 4? Overcuts the 3. He's pissed. Kicks at the 4. Yeah, so let's talk about that one. Mike reassured me at the end that it had nothing to do with me, which I thought was interesting that he would bring it up like I thought it would have something to do with me. But, you know, in my mind, it's just like he was frustrated enough that he didn't want to see the rest of that rack play out, or, you know, he thought he deserved to lose it or something like that. And I can't say that he said it in so many words, but that was certainly my takeaway. That being said, I don't think I've ever seen somebody give away, whatever it was, 5, 6 balls on the table with ball in hand. I don't hate my odds of getting out from there with ball in hand because everything was kind of tight and there were no problems, but still, like, that's a tough choice. Immediately in the next game, there's kind of a funny situation here with a big cluster, 5's blocked by the 7. You make the 1, I think you got to try to get safe from here. but you make the 1, the 2, and the 3 are open, the 4 is open. There's not really an early combo on the 9. If you manage to get ball in hand on the 2, would you attack the 2-9 just to stay away from the cluster? There's no 3 foul in this format. He opened up the cluster a little bit, which is going to help. I remember looking at this and thinking about either crossing the 1 ball back here into the cluster again, or sending the cue ball back into the cluster. I think cue ball is the better play. And it was partially the 2-way of trying to send the 1 ball down towards the 9. Optimistically thinking, if I lay up the 1-9 combination and get ball in hand, that hopefully gets us through this rack. But I feel like I underhit this one. Let's see if I remember it. I don't think I get into the cluster. Yeah, underhit it quite a lot. 2 full into the 1. Actually, you know, the line on the 1 was good. But yeah, just underhit the cue ball. Needed a lot more pace. I needed more pace on both, realistically, to get them to where I was trying to get them. That's another one that I mentioned in my last video, that I just was spending a lot of time practicing specific things. And those chip shots where you're trying to like split the cue ball and the object ball, or, you know, send 1 here and 1 here, or something like that. I was spending a lot of time with those on my home table, and then haven't touched them since then. You might be tempted to go for the 9 off the 1, but I think you're silly for that. I wouldn't do it. I was tempted. I'm also silly, but I think I make the right decision here. I decided to thin the 1, come out and around the 2, and lay up a 2-9. Very thin on the 1, overcutting it to correct the line, and I get pretty tidy on this 2-9. And in a flash, we're up 3-0. Don't look at the runtime on the video. Of course, now that I say that, you're gonna do it. I made a ball on the break and I didn't scratch. I don't have a great option for the 1. I guess you can attack the 2 ball here, but there's no guarantee you get shape on the 1. Oh, I think I play a nasty safe. I think I like glue him under the 7 here. Watch this. It's like a drag draw with a little spin. Stick him under the 7 at distance. That's pretty gross. I put that pace on it because I knew I wanted to get separation with the 1 ball. He might have a 1 rail kick here. Ah, the 4 ball's huge. Can you get at it? It might be a 2 rail. I'm always curious to see what like old school guys do in situations like this. There's no way, man. The 4 is huge. Well, the 4 is not anything anymore. That's another thing Mike does. I'm pretty sure the cue ball was going to touch the 7 there. Can't do that, dude. Let it finish rolling, especially if it's going to make contact with something. I can understand if it's just in dead space and it's never going to hit anything. Like, didn't it look like it was going to hit the 7? I think that happens again in this set. I just have to solve the 3. Really don't want to play a combo. The 3-9 is nothing. I don't think it even goes. I should just be able to get a big angle on the 2. Oh, look at this. I remember this shot. All that room. I think, you know, you shape this, like, I didn't need to be here, right? I think I needed to just tell myself, like, get in this area. I want to swerve around it. All right, well, at least I made a good hit. But sold out. I just needed to tell myself to be here. I don't think I committed to the right spot. I think if Mike solves the 3 ball, he should be able to get out. The 5's easy enough to get on from the 3. If you get below it, I'm imagining the 3 like we're shaping it in here. Gonna just draw a back down table for it. Big stroke. Gets past it. Gets a line on the 3 and the side. So this can work out. Pop off the short rail, come back up for the 5. Nice. Yeah, it's pretty. And here's what I was saying, if you get on the backside of this 5, you're always going to land on the 6. Not afraid to take up some space. Does not care about shooting off the rail. Sort of lunges into it a little bit, but there's a couple guys at this place that have that same stroke characteristic, and it's just, you can make it work. Bit of a spicy overcut there on the 7, creating a bit more distance on the 9 than I'm sure he would have wanted, but this is serviceable. And he puts this 9 down and he said something like, well, at least it's not a shutout or something like that. Gets into him pretty good. Rack doesn't really cooperate. I've got a cut on the 1 and the side. I should be able to float down and back and shape the 2 along that line. The 4 could certainly come into play. If I wanted to completely avoid the 4, I could theoretically come down and back and end up here for that side of the 2 in the top side. Ah, too full. Gonna block him again. Crummy. Good hit. Tough spot here. Don't think I have the top edge of the 1. I'll have to kick into it from here. I think I remember trying for kicking into the 1 and putting him behind the 3, which is pretty crazy. It's either that or I just sort of put pace into it and try to make something happen. I don't remember. No, I tried to like kick and stick, I guess. And I'm getting a roll again. Yeah, it's tough because he played me safe with his kick shot where I had hooked him accidentally. He made a good hit, put me in a bad spot. I made a good hit, put him in a bad spot. So it's like, it's karmic, right? Like it's gonna swing both ways, but I feel like sometimes the old school guys are they want that pure test of skill, and they have very little patience for, I'm not speaking for Mike here, like just a generalization, but they have very little patience for the luck involved. Like it's baked in, like we all know it's part of the game. And if you choose to play 9-ball, you really have no grounds to complain about luck working against you. But it tends to come up a lot. It is a pattern I've noticed. He wants to intentionally foul and leave the 3 on the 1. He tried to do that earlier with a 5-2. And he laid up the combo, and I'm pretty sure he did it here. He did it again. So he was going to sit down, he gives up ball in hand, and he says to the guy who's walking by him, he's like, well, that should be it, and like quite loud that time. And I look at this and maybe I just don't like the combo. He gestures like, what are you doing? Like, just shoot the ball. So I come out and off that. Tried to... I think I was trying to play the 1 off the 8. And then he said it again. Like, that should be it. Meanwhile, it's not easy to hold this cue ball for the 2. I might be able to spin around it for the 2 in the top side. But I'm just going to miss it because I don't want to win. He gets a shot, though. And I have to admit, the that should be it comment was starting to worm its way in. I really should have like thrown in my earbuds or something. But I can get hard-headed about that sort of thing. It's like, I can handle it. It's okay. There's a lot of chatter in the room. Which is true. Like, I can handle it. Did he get around it? Sorta. I think he's got the 2 in the bottom corner here. He should have it. He should just be able to like cinch it in, maybe float up towards the top long rail, but yeah, nice shot. Don't do that. Oh man. That's right. So he scratched on this and he said it again. He said it again when I went to go get the ball out of the side pocket there, like making sure that I could hear it. I was like, okay. This is an interesting case. So do you try to shape the 4 in the top left or the side, the top side? Do you try to like roll out and off the 4 this way to get off the 3, I mean, to get onto the 4? Or do you just go across table and get on the 4 with a little bit of an angle to get over for the 5? Yeah, I just decided to float over. I don't mind this, just kind of keep it simple. So I'm kind of flat on the 4 ball here. I think rolling past it a little more, you don't want to bring the 9 into play, but then you have a bit of a back cut that takes you towards the 5. These are not straightforward outs, especially the 5 to the 6, where the windows are kind of small, one to the other. Played this pretty well. I did need a little more out of the 5, but I picked my line on the 6, and I end up pretty severely overhitting this 5 ball. I just felt like it was going to be hard to hold it. I could have let my stroke out a little bit on this one and gone out and back across, but that's also tough for speed control. So I just try to hold it, and it just gets away from me. Could really make Mike upset here and play safe, like put him under the 7. But I decided to attack because that aspect of it, like considering my opponent's frustration, their presence at the table was factoring into my decision making, which is never a good thing. And here's that same shot again, guys. Missing it thick. Trying to get out and across. And you're just going to sell out. You're going to give up this 3 ball out. That should be it, as they say. Gets a little funny on the 7, but he's still fine. High inside, if anything. Maybe just a high ball to roll through, but he's always going to have a look at the 7. If he's feeling spicy, he comes around 3 rails. Yeah, he is. It's going to dress up for him. It's a good play. Good speed, you know, to travel that distance. That works. Had a good chance there, guys. let's see what we got. He's making the 5. No, it did not go. Wow. So, is this a runnable table? It just might be. I need to make a good shot on the 1. The cue ball could track out and around. Potentially getting around the 2 and the 7. Unless I'm feeling cheeky and I just want to be really mean to Mike and get ball in hand. So yeah, good luck. I don't mind the decision. I think the shape was kind of tough. There's a lot that can go wrong. It's a distance, it's an off angle. And I think I'm also trying to settle myself. So if I get ball in hand from here, I need an angle from the 2 to the 3. That's usually where my mind goes instead of paying too much attention to what the opponent's doing, unless I'm super interested in how they make the hit. In this case, I didn't see an obvious hit. He's gonna have to do something funky to get on the 1. So I tend to just start, oh, nice hit, man. I tend to just start strategizing about what I would do with ball in hand if I get it, which may or may not be good practice. Here again, I don't think I have a shot. I might not have enough, like full enough of the 1 ball to pinch it. Even if I did, no, I think that it might work if I could get past the 4, but I just stick them there. Yeah, it was kind of on the back side of it. So I just stick them there. I want to get ball in hand and run out from here. Felt a little too risky to try to make it. In those situations, I left a pretty decent gap between the 4 and the cue ball. I certainly could have gotten a little greedier and stuck them on the 4. I think that's a good target for me to try to pay attention to that level of detail. I just need to get better with my cue ball. At the end of the day, that's really what it's about. There may not be good lines here. But I think, again, if I had stuck him on the 4, he wouldn't have access to the 1 rail. It's just that the 1 ball's kind of floating in space, so it's hard to get at it. On the previous racks, he's taken an intentional foul to try to tie up something. There might not be a great play in this case for that either. Yeah, I think the 1 rail this direction makes sense. Looks like he's going too far. Yeah. Yeah, here again, also you don't have to put it in the pocket. I don't know if that one would have hit anything, but there was a lot of pace on that cue ball. It's the kind of thing that just wouldn't fly in like a, a tournament with referees and whatnot. I don't care too much, but I think I care the appropriate amount about not grabbing the cue ball before it's done moving. Need a good angle. I think I have a bit of an angle to work with on the 3, or on the 2 to get on the 3. I might just be trying to get in here and then come across for the 4. No, I was trying, yeah, I'm trying too hard now. I was working too hard to get below the 3. It's just mental stuff. Starting to talk myself out of it. It's a good preview of the next match. Not to give anything away, but the back and forth of this match and the mental stuff that was coming up directly affects my performance in the next set. And it was just on me. At the end of the day, I needed to cope better and fight a little harder. Tried to spin out, right? Tried to come out and across, but he needed to get into that 3 ball a lot more. There's a safe here. You just sort of slide off the 4 and put him under the 6 and the 9. I don't foresee Mike doing that. I could see Mike going for a bank because the 5's hanging. You bank the 4 here, you bank the 4. I don't know if it goes in the corner, but attacking the bank makes sense because you're almost guaranteed to get shape on the 5. low right to bank the 4 cross side. Should go. Is he trying to cut it? The cut's available, but I just don't know if I like it as much. Oh, he went after the 9. The 9 hangs. The 5 ends up going, and he's sort of stuck on the 4. It wouldn't surprise me if he just blasted the 4 at the 6 and the 9. Kind of hard to get safe from here. Yeah, he's looking at the bank. Kick the 4 into the 8. Kick the 4 off the 8 into the 9. That's my read on what he was considering. I don't see great options. You can slice the 4. You can try to thin that in. If you make it, you're gonna get a look at the 6, 9. Oh, he's elevating. I don't know. It's tough on these diamond tables too, because if you hit the bank too firm, it really tightens up. It just shortens up the angle so much. I think he's got to send it at the 9 here, but he has to decide if he's going like rail first or if he wants to go into the 6. Just always tough. I'd almost rather try the cut. I'd rather try stay level, super thin cut on the 4, get across table. Yeah, he missed it. He almost scratched. I don't know what he said there. Bit of a tester here on the 4. It's a lot of distance. But this one I just use my skills, just kind of a deep breath. It's the sigh, you know, big breath in and a big breath out. And just focus on making that ball. Don't have to do anything silly. Come and take a look at the back of the 6 ball. I'm gonna put this one away, but it's not my best work. Just gotta be willing to slug it out sometimes. And again, on the 9 ball, flirt with the scratch a little bit. Pretty eventful. Hope you guys like this one. I've been, like I said, really enjoying these matches. I have a lot of fun at this tournament. And there's more to come. I'm not going to give anything away, but it continues to be eventful. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like the video if you're not used to doing that. It's just a little thumbs up. It's real easy to do, just a single click. It helps YouTube stuff a lot. It puts me in front of more people. Subscribing and sharing the video also help tremendously. I'm trying to get to 3,000 and we're closing in on it. So thanks for all your help. Yeah, thanks for all you do. Love checking in with you guys in the comments, getting to know you, hearing about your games. So please do drop comments. I love hearing about that stuff. I reply to all comments. If I don't reply, I will give them a heart. I see them all, I read them all. So hop in there, let me know what you're up to, and I will see you guys again soon.